Sadly, we are starting on a rather sad note. Orlando Julius, you know him, the legendary Nigerian highlife and Afrobeat musician, has passed. The 79-year-old veteran, Ijebu-Ijesha saxophonist, succumbed to the cold hands of death early on Wednesday morning. The late Orlando Julius, who spent 60 years on stage, was a prolific songwriter, singer, and band leader. Some of his timeless hits include Jagwa Nana, Ijo Soul, Disco Highlife, and Ololufe. Well, gradually the ranks of veteran musicians are getting depleted. We have a little something to share with you now.
He was popularly known as Orlando Julius, a Nigerian saxophonist, singer, band leader, and songwriter closely associated with Afrobeat music. He was born in 1943 to a merchant family during British colonialism. Julius's first musical teacher was his mother, who would sing and dance while he played drums. In 1957, after dropping out of school and the death of his father, he left for Ibadan to pursue a career in music. His music career took flight in the 60s when Eddie Okonta invited him to join his band. Before then, he had been tutored by Highlife musician Jazz Romero. With Okonta's band, Orlando Julius performed in many gigs and opened for the American trumpeter and vocalist Louis Armstrong. In subsequent years, he would play with other bands including Hugh Masekela and opened for other high-profile international acts. Orlando Julius also opened for the iconic American musician James Brown. He released his first hit, Jagwa Nana, in 1965 and went on to tour West Africa. The legend formed the Ashiko movement and taught people his style of music, although he did not stay in this position for long. After spending some time in the United States, he returned to Nigeria in 1984 and quickly began recording tracks for the album Dance Afrobeat, leading him to put together the 18-person Nigerian All-Stars band. The cause of death is unknown as at the time of writing, he was aged 79. Orlando Julius, a veteran internationally recognized singer, will be remembered for many of his hit songs, among which is Jagwa Nana, Ololufe, to mention a few.
Well, Jide, as I said, the old brigade is thinning out.
Yes.
Just the other day, Commander Ebenezer Bay became 80 years old. We thought it was good, but now this.
Yes, especially the Afrobeat family. We are losing them one after another. Chris Ajilo is gone. Fela is gone. Now, Orlando Julius. I remember when he returned to Nigeria. It was big news at that time, and newspapers went after him, conducted interviews, and suddenly things went quiet. So he had been in Ijebu-Ijesha for so long. We were no longer reading about him, probably because of old age and all that. Now he's gone. We can only wish that we'll be able to produce thoroughbred musicians like these people. Because when I talk about thoroughbred musicians, musicians who were solid band leaders as well as instrumentalists. A lot of today's musicians can't play a single instrument.
Thankfully, the dictionary, Paul, tells me that a musician is one who plays an instrument or two.
Exactly.
As distinct from singers and studio artists.
I've always known that it's wrong to call an artist who only sings and cannot play an instrument a musician. But many people don't know the difference between the two.
Yes.
One thing about the generation of Orlando Julius is that they sang meaningful songs.
Oh, yeah.
They were singing about love. It was meaningful. Their lyrics were not vulgar. It's not now that people just sing nonsense, gibberish, and people celebrate.
But to hear people say they keep you dancing.
Well, beyond the dance, what is the value people are getting from those songs? Fela Anikulapo Kuti, you may not believe in him, you may not agree with his message, but he actually, beside the fact that he was a thoroughbred musician, as the language they used,
disciplinarian
exactly,
too.
He was also passing a message. He had a message. You know, the reggae musicians of those days, the Raskimonos, the Majek Fasheks, you know, the now Golis of this world, they were sometimes, they were actually, some of them were preaching a message, they were fighting against apartheid. Some of them were, you know, enlightening us on even government programs.
Yes.
Government programs.
Good governance.
You know,
good governance.
I remember songs like "Make You They Look Well Before You Cross," talking about the fact that people have to be very careful on the road and all of. So what do we get now? Nonsense. Nonsense.
Well, happily, we can recall days like this when our musicians, Jide, sang about our victories, our failures, our strengths, our weaknesses, and so on.
Even those Fuji artists of old.
Oh, yeah.
Barrister and Collington would always sing about current affairs.
Oh, yeah.
You know, austerity measures, you know. Today, nobody cares to sing about current affairs anymore. What we get is a lot of lyrical emptiness. Once people have access to a keyboard and they can get someone to play the keyboard for them, they just they start singing.
A hit is in the works.
Yes, they start singing. And a lot of them can't play a single instrument, and they call themselves musicians. The thing about lyrical emptiness is many years down the line, nobody will want to listen to such songs. Today, if there is a bad day, you see them play a Vietnam Goli song.
Exactly.
You know? It's like that. When there is a bad day or there is a baby shower, you hear them playing, you see them playing Sonny Ade's song. Some of today's contemporary songs, may God spare our lives, in 10 years, in 15 years, nobody will play them. Because they were not, I don't think that extreme hard work even went into putting them together. Because if we work so hard, it will show in the output and the final analysis. People just want to rush out, push something out there.
That's it.
You know, so it's, that's why this man and Fatai Rolling Dollar, they were all very, very good instrumentalists. Not only were they good singers, they were so good instrumentalists.
And the spontaneity with which they performed was second to none.
And the talent was genuine.